Today's topic, 7 ways a financial planner can help a physician. And I'm not going to use examples like, oh, my financial advisor helped me do a backdoor Roth IRA, or they helped me with disability insurance. Nope, we're taken to the next level. We're going to go through 7 of you'd almost argue the intangible things. This is one of those things that comes up a lot on our prospect calls, like, what do you actually do for me? And we always try to almost simplify it in the idea of a lot of what we do is intangible. It's not always going to be just a Roth IRA or a tax planning strategy here or a risk management here or an asset protection here. So we're going to walk through 7 wonderful ways that we can team up together to make this a really, really fun but also valuable long-term collaboration. So stay tuned. All 7 of those are coming up next. All right, let's get started with somewhat of an appetizer. So again, as I noted in the intro there, this is a very common question we get quite a bit. And sometimes it's asked this way: hey, I pay you, X dollars per month or X dollars per year. Will I see that number exactly? Some years we might, some years we may not. Or I often make the joke, some years you will overpay us, some years you will underpay us. Financial planning has a lot of intangible items to it, meaning that, when you buy the brand new iPhone, you know what you're paying for, right? You get this brand new shiny iPhone, you get to hold it and play with it and add new apps, where financial planning is one of those things that some of the things that we're putting in play might take decades or a lifetime, if you're talking about estate planning, to actually evolve. And sometimes they're just little changes here, little changes here. But a lot of it also comes back to just, one, giving you some peace of mind, giving you some time back. And while I wish it'd be so much easier, I'd have less gray hair, I wish there was a way to just say, oh, well, by giving you some peace of mind and time back and taking that off your to-do list, well, if we add up all these up, here is the total number. We just don't know what that's going to be. So the value of financial planning, well, sometimes we can show it as a true dollar amount by, hey, doing this to your 401k, by doing this to your backdoor Roth IRA, by changing this tax strategy here, not only does it save you X this year, but multiply that by 30 years. Look at this huge number, right? Sometimes we do have those events. Or, hey, by tweaking your investments in your 401k, you went from a 1% fee down to a 20 basis point. Doesn't seem like much today, but remember, that account's going to become very large, likely, 7 figures at some point. That is where it really adds up. So just a little appetizer to get us started, that really the goal of this video and the blog post that we built this off of is to talk through some of the more intangible items that don't have an exact dollar amount to them on how we really can provide value by teaming up with you as a physician and your family. So we'll get into the main 7 now, but I at least wanted to start with a little bit of a appetizer. All right, number 1, clarifying goals. Now this is always a unique one because I would say a good financial planner usually doesn't say, what are your goals? Kind of takes away from the pizzazz of the whole process. But usually we're trying to ask that maybe in a different way, or kind of keep peeling back the onion to get to the true answer. This can be a lot of things, right? Maybe it's, hey, I want to have my student loans paid off. Hey, I want to achieve public service loan forgiveness. We're buying our first home in 2 years. We need X down for a down payment, or we're going to use a physician mortgage. Hey, I've never thought of this, right? I always assumed that I would just retire at 70. You're telling me I can do financial independence maybe at 50? Well, let's talk through that, right? What are these moving parts? And, sometimes when our clients will come to us a little bit later too, I never thought I could own a vacation home. What does that look like? I never thought I could take off 2 years, or I never thought I could maybe cut my payback, to 0.6 or 0.8 FTE, when we had our child or our second child or our third child or fourth child, however many children you want to have. So clarifying goals is one of those things that it's an intangible benefit, but it's one of the things that we really prioritize, and all good financial planners hopefully are prioritizing this on. We want to clarify your goals, because without good goals, without understanding your goals, your values, what are we doing this for, right? We're kind of just sailing without a map. I'm trying to use a Wealth Kill reference there, sailboat. But we just don't know, right? We're just kind of going around and we're hoping we get there, but we don't know where we're going. Is it this number? Is it this number? Is it this goal? Is it that goal? So the first big intangible we like to help our physicians with is, number 1, clarifying goals. Number 2, financial psychiatry. I used to be able to use that term a lot more freely, and then we started working with a lot of psychiatrists, and I realized that I was using that term without nearly as much education as our psychiatrist had. So I kind of make the joke, it's our psychiatry, not yours. But financial stress is real. You can look at millions of studies. You can even look at physician burnout. Physician burnout has not only been linked to the overall work that comes with being a physician, but just the overall overwhelming part of life as well. And when you plug in life, usually finance is a top 3, if not a number 1 item, which sometimes catches physicians off guard because we make pretty good money, right? Physicians are making pretty good money. So financial psychiatry is just being there to talk to, being that ear, that shoulder to cry on, per se. Whether it's good news, whether it's bad news, whether it's getting organized, whether it's cash flow, whether it's family planning, financial psychiatry is one of those things that we really like to focus on. It's being there. It's being there as a resource. It's being someone to listen to, someone to talk to. And even here, this is also where we'll kind of plug in, when we work with couples, right? You're not going to see eye to eye. It never works that way, right? Hopefully you have a lot of similar things, but your financial history could be different. Your financial background could be different. The way you think about money compared to your spouse or your significant other is likely different, maybe drastically different. So just having a neutral third party in there not only can provide psychiatry to you as a client, but also you as a family, right? Kind of talking through these different moving parts. So number 2, financial psychiatry. Keyword there, financial psychiatry, not your psychiatry. Number 3, ongoing guidance. Personally, this is probably my favorite, and the reason why I say that is because I can literally tell you numerous examples of where we sit down to present a financial plan to a client, and they will have a life-changing note 2 minutes before the plan presentation or 2 minutes into it. Like, hey, great, this is good, but I also just changed jobs and we're moving across the country. Oh, we forgot to tell you, we're having twins tomorrow. It happens all the time. So this is where ongoing guidance is valuable. And this is not a pitch for saying, hey, you have to work with a financial advisor every single day for decades. Not the case at all. And for example, we have a very good client base that will come to us for one-time plans, or they come to us for hourly advice, but they don't want the ongoing guidance. Now, they're pretty good as a do-it-yourselfer, right? They know what they're doing, so they come back to us for guidance. So when we say ongoing guidance, it can take a lot of forms. Maybe that's truly working with us. We have a lot of clients that say, hey, I know there's a lot of moving parts. I know I can do this on my own if I put the time and energy into it. I just don't want to put the time and energy into it. I want to outsource that. I want to collaborate with WealthKeel. We have other clients that say, hey, listen, I just want an expert opinion. I want to work with a CFP. I want to work with a team that makes sure I'm not doing anything silly. And they may circle back every 3 to 5 years, or maybe every 10 years. And that's that ongoing guidance, because life will throw you curveballs. There will be course corrections. Good course corrections, bad course corrections. This is where I always say it's a beautiful journey. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And that's where the ongoing part of financial planning is vital. And one of the reasons why we almost downplay that initial plan presentation, because it looks great on paper, right? That's assuming that everything stays perfect for decades. That's assuming that we knew the market rate of return, we knew the inflation, we knew your salary, we knew your family plan, and we knew any bumps in the road. No one knows that. It is a cloudy, very bad storms, crystal ball at best, right? You're using so many assumptions and letting them compound over decades. And that's where the power of ongoing guidance, ongoing support really comes in, whether that's, again, working together in a true ongoing capacity, or maybe circling back every few years, or even a little bit more than that. So number 3, ongoing guidance as a very good intangible benefit you get from teaming up with a good financial advisor, good financial planner. Number 4, accountability. This is one where I almost get a little bit nervous sometimes, where is the line of persistent versus a pest? Now, luckily, most of our clients will always come back and say, listen, I needed this, right? I needed the nudge. I need you guys to check in. I need you to send me a note. I need you to remind me. Don't let it fall through the cracks. Tell me again at our next review meeting, or hey, if I don't have it done by this date, yell at me again. But holding you accountable, right? Even our clients that come to us as do-it-yourselfers, I read this post from Dr. Dolly, the White Coat Investor. I read this through Physician on Fire. I read it years ago. I never did it. I never got around to it. And that's where accountability comes in from working with. Now, this is usually in the ongoing financial planning, because we're there to actually make sure the list is getting implemented. I call it my iron butterfly. We don't want to build you this beautiful thing, referring to your financial plan, but then it can't fly, right? That's the iron part of the butterfly. So we're always trying to avoid that iron butterfly. So number 4 on our list is just being there as an accountability partner, making sure you're getting it done. One of my best examples is always estate documents. Even though we know they're vital and you need to get those done, it's not the most exciting document to get done. We're not excited to contact the attorney. We're not excited to talk through what happens if I die, or if I become incapacitated, or who makes the decisions if I'm incapacitated, or who gets to control my finances if I'm incapacitated. It's not a fun topic, but it's a vital topic, and it's a really good accountability example where we just don't let that fall off our to-do list. We need you to get that done. It's a big part of your plan. So number 4, accountability. Number 5, organization. I'll give you my best example of why financial planning made a lot of sense for me. I'm a very organized human. I like things organized. It's a good thing and a bad thing. One of my favorite examples, and any of my high school friends can attest to this, I used to have my closet so organized that I had my hangers about an inch apart and color coded. So to torture me, they would actually come up to my bedroom and reorganize, move the spacing, change the colors. If they're watching this video, they know who they are. So organization has always been something that I loved, whether that's clothes hangers or your finances, right? You want to be organized. You want to have things nice and tidy. You want to make sure it's on a unified strategy, making sure it's all working together, right? It's kind of all these different moving pieces, but really working as one plan going forward. So organization, and this is one of the ones that I note quite a bit on our icebreaker calls, because this is, without a doubt, this is one thing you're going to get out of working with us, whether it's a one-time plan or ongoing, and not just with us. Any financial advisor is going to allow you to just get organized. You have this here, you have this here, let's consolidate. Why is this here? Let's do this. You're just going to have a chance to probably, for the first time in your entire financial life, probably see everything in one spot, see how they're all working together, see what you can optimize. So number 5, an absolute favorite of mine, whether it's financial planning or, again, your clothes hangers, number 5 is organization. Number 6, expert advice. I'm going to do air quotes, expert. I don't like the term expert. Sure, I've been doing this for a decade. I have the CFP, I have the CSLP. I like to think I know what I'm doing. I just don't like that term. But in the context of number 6 here, we also use it from a physician perspective, right? There's a reason why I don't go to WebMD when I have a knee pain. I went to go see my ortho, my sports medicine doctor, to find out why my knee was bothering me and what I need to do to fix it. Because if I get on WebMD, it's probably going to get a saw and just try to cut it off, and we'll move on from there. So I trust my expert physician to help me get better or get healed, or whatever the example would be, kind of in that medical journey there. And that's what we're referring to here in number 6. You're coming to individuals that have gone through this. They know the moving parts, they know the dialogue, they have their credentials. It's not their first rodeo. It gives you a chance to really collaborate with an expert. And again, this is a great example of, this can be an ongoing relationship, or this can be a one-time plan. And this one in particular always will stand out as one I think that's even better tailored to the DIYers, where they say, hey, I have a good idea. I know how to manage my own money. I've nailed backdoor Roth IRAs for the last 10 years straight. I maxed out my 401k, my 403b. I'm doing this, insurance, everything's good to go. Just make sure I'm not missing anything, right? Make sure there aren't any other areas to optimize that I'm missing. What about this? Or what, am I on track for retirement at 60? Financial independence at 50. So expert advice, we'll list as number 6 here. Again, the term expert is not my favorite. It's probably just the best way to word it on working with someone that has been around the block a few times on understanding all the moving parts of a financial plan. So number 6, expert advice. Number 7, and in closing, a true partnership. And what I mean by this, and this is where I often use the word collaboration, a good financial advisor is going to present the pros and cons. And then ultimately, we won't let you do anything silly, and we'll probably try to persuade you towards one way, but we're not going to tell you what to do, because there's likely hundreds, if not thousands of different routes we're going to be able to take to what we would label as, financial success, which again, that term alone can also take on, a million different meanings. So a true partnership is us working together, us collaborating, us listing the pros and cons to these big decisions and walking through them, but giving you enough information so that you and your spouse or significant other can make an educated decision, working with an expert on, hey, we should go this route, or we should go this route, or hey, we'll go this route, but we understand there could be, changes up here. We're okay with that. So number 7, one of my favorites, probably again, the main reason why I absolutely love what I do every day is it's a partnership. It's a true partnership. Every client's journey is different. It's a beautiful journey. And that's why WealthKill was really formed when you think about it. Is to partner up with our clients and to make sure that we're working together and collaborating together to build something beautiful, but with the understanding we're going to have shifts, we're going to have course corrections, but at the end of the day, we're still a team. We'll get through the good parts, we'll get through the bad parts, we'll celebrate the wins, we'll get through the tough phases there. So number 7 is a true partnership. And there you have it, 7 ways a financial planner can help you, a physician. We really walked through a lot of the intangible benefits, as opposed to just the straightforward things of help me with my investments, help me with my risk management, help me with my budget, help me with my student loans. And I think this is the deeper level that needs to get a little bit more love out there to show what a relationship could really look like with a financial planner. So as always, thank you so much for tuning in. If you have not subscribed to our channel, now would be a great time to do it. If you have not liked this video, you can click the little thumbs up down there and give us a like. And if you click on the bell icon, that'll allow you to get a notification every time we have a new video that goes out. Why do we ask you to do these things? Because it allows us to get in front of more physicians. And why is that important? Because you and I both know you were not taught any of this in many, many, many years of training. So our goal is to help as many physicians as possible. And we use YouTube as our platform to talk to as many of you as we can. So thank you again for tuning in. As always, I will catch you on the next video.